one story came to my mind from
I think it's time for everybody's prasadam now. Is it
no, it's okay.
many more or any more? Go ahead.
No, I heard this story like in 70s. Some his disciples, Prabhupada disciples, wanted to establish him as a god, and it created some.
Oh yeah.
Can you
Oh, my goodness
can you
gracious.
give comment to the story?
Yeah, that was around 1970, and he made his first few sannyasis.
Yeah.
And then there was a big festival. I think Prabhupada might have been in Japan. They had a big festival in New Vrindavan. And they were saying that, number one, Prabhupada rejected us. And number two, Prabhupada is God. So God rejected us. And by this preaching of these sannyasis, the whole festival turned into a big crying lamentation. And somebody wrote to Prabhupada, we were in Boston at the time, and the Nectar of Devotion had just come out. And so we weren't involved in that at all. And when we heard about it, we were speaking, that's not true. But anyway, so when Prabhupada heard it, he told us to study Nectar of Devotion, that who is actually the Guru, that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he cleared the whole thing up. And he established even more firmly in everybody's mind what is Guru Tattva. And there's no question of rejecting. He was just giving some people sannyas, and he went to another country to visit to expand his mission. So I don't know more than that at the moment. I don't know what question you had about it.
Because I heard such a comment from some Prabhupada disciple that was that they want to actually to remove Prabhupada from this position of founder Acharya, or from being the head of ISKCON, and somehow they wanted to move him back aside. And
At that time, around that time,
it was connected with some kind of
politics.
politics.
It was connected by something like some of the disciples of Prabhupada had been associating with some of Prabhupada's godbrothers, who were saying that why should we call him Prabhupada, and why should he be worshipped so much? And they were envious of Prabhupada, as Prabhupada wrote about in his Nectar of Instruction. And so they were getting doubts in Prabhupada, so he had to clear up that as well. He was clearing up all those things at the same time. So sometimes when they hear Srila Narayana Maharaj's name, they think that he's one of Prabhupada's godbrothers, and they say, Prabhupada said, don't associate with my godbrothers. But that's a very blanket statement. There's some Greek term that means a statement that's made to one person at one particular time for that particular person, that's taken for all times, place, and circumstances for all people. So at that time, Prabhupada said, don't associate with my godbrothers. But that didn't count
all of them.
All of them, and it particularly didn't count Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, who had left the world a year or two earlier when Prabhupada wrote the condolences and had all of his disciples sign the condolence card saying that by his mercy I took sannyas and now he's in Goloka Vrindavan. Would an envious person end up in Goloka Vrindavan? So there's a lot of misunderstandings of the philosophy, lots of combinations, lots of things that we conceived of when we were young that's now still being propagated in certain institutions. Like, what's one? That Prabhupada suffered our karma. We used to think that. And Prabhupada cleared that up, which we quoted that conversation in this booklet, Our Guru is One in Siddhanta and One in Heart. Because the article against Srila Gurudev was saying that Prabhupada said that the spiritual master suffers the karma of the disciple, and that's why he gets sick. And Gurudev says that, or Narayana Maharaj says that he doesn't suffer the karma. So we quoted many things from Prabhupada, but one of them was this conversation, where from the book Perfect Questions, Perfect Answer, where Bob was asking, do you suffer karma? And Prabhupada cleared the whole thing up that no. And they also think that Prabhupada said yes, because Prabhupada said yes. Then he said, but you're a pure devotee. So how could you suffer karma like an ordinary conditioned soul? So what did Prabhupada say? No, I'm not a pure devotee. Which means that, no, I don't suffer the karma. Did that answer your question?
I have to think about. I think yes.
Okay.
I think yes.